Welcome back to Focus on Frisco. Thanks for sticking around. This is Melissa Sherburne, newly elected to the Town Council. Very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
I was here for the swearing in and it was very cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's an honor.
I think it's really exciting, and we talk about this a lot on the show, how important it is for people to be involved in their community, and this is like the utmost involvement that you can be without being a full-time employee at the town, and I think it's great. It's a lot of time, and I know you know that, but I can only imagine that you're excited about how worth it it's going to be.
I am. I'm very excited. It's a next step for me, and I'm excited and honored to be a part of it. So
well, good. Let's talk a little bit about who you are. Can you give us an idea of where you've been, where did you grow up, and what brought you up to Frisco?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've lived in Frisco for a little over 7 years.
Okay. And
my husband and I live in Peak 1 neighborhood, which is our locals neighborhood here in town, and we've got a 7-year-old. Our daughter Sterling goes to Frisco Elementary, and our 3-year-old son is at Summit County Preschool. So that's a lot of fun. That keeps us very busy.
Yes.
Before we moved up here, we lived in Fort Collins. We met in Boulder, and I actually grew up on the East Coast. So I went to Boulder for my undergraduate degree. I have a degree in environmental science and geography, and then I went back to the East Coast to Duke University for a master's degree in environmental management.
Okay.
So yeah, so I hope to kind of weave those things into my council role, and as a parent and kind of land use development professional.
Well, it's interesting because as you become a parent, and I know what you said, your daughter's 7. It's certainly been that change for that long now. But it's amazing how you take a different look at things when you're a parent, and it gives an interesting perspective. And I think that's one of the reasons it's so fun to see the council as it is,
right?
Because you see so many different walks of life.
Yes.
You know, where people are in the different areas of life. So your background, probably when you moved into town, kind of gave you an idea that you might want to be part of a true volunteer position here.
Definitely.
And what did you decide to do?
So pretty early on, so in my professional life, I've worked in mountain communities for 13 or 14 years in the field of planning and community development and land use. And so I was working as a consultant, and kind of early on I thought, I'd really love to kind of be on the other side of this and be a part of the Planning Commission. And so I joined the Planning Commission about 6.5 years ago.
Okay.
And I did that. The last 2 I was chairperson, and that was really rewarding, a great learning experience.
And what a time these past 6 years to be on the Planning Commission.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of really great developments come through, and I also really got to know the community through all of that, and just the feedback that we got, whether it was developments downtown or kind of further out, the larger commercial developments.
Right.
And so it's been really great.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. So as you were on the Planning Commission, obviously you guys spend enough time with the town council and things like that. Was that part of the decision where you thought, okay, I'm going to take that next step, or what made you go from Planning Commission to say,
Town Council?
I'm going Town Council?
Well, honestly, I thought that it was the next kind of natural step, and I really wanted to be, the Planning Commission's role is it's quasi-judicial, so basically it's the enforcement of the Community Development Code.
Right.
And so we're not making policy, and so I really I wanted to be a part of kind of the broader decision-making, policy-making in the town of Frisco. We're at this kind of critical point in our evolution, and there's a lot going on, so I thought it'd be a great time to jump in and become more involved.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what do you see yourself, what do you see yourself kind of taking hold of as you start to, I know, big questions.
Well, we've got an amazing council right now, and so one thing that they've done a lot of great work on is 2 things that kind of hit close to home for me. One is housing. As I said, I live in the Peak 1 neighborhood. I work in this field, and so I think that we can kind of build off of the success that we've had in town with a variety of developments, and kind of look for the next great neighborhood in Frisco for locals. That's obviously really critical. And the other thing that's kind of close to my heart is environmental sustainability and the work that they've done. We recently signed the climate action agreement, countywide. Most of the decision makers signed that, so that was huge.
Cool. Yeah.
But how can we do more at the local level to make more of an impact on things like waste reduction and climate change, promoting multimodal transportation, things like that to get people out of their cars, more biking, more walking, things like that.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
That's awesome. And it's, again, as you look at your kids who are little, and to be able to offer that as an opportunity as they start to grow up, where they see just this very sustainable community in which they live, and maybe, you know, as they move on, take it to other places that don't necessarily, so again, kind of going back to council, so you guys have had 2 official meetings.
We have.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you, as the council is starting to really start to come together, what do you guys start to really see as some of these significant issues that are, I know you mentioned the housing and the environmental, but as a council, what's kind of on your top of your agenda these days?
Well, I think housing is a really top priority. I also think, you know, there's a lot of work being done looking at the peninsula, looking at the marina, and so we were working with a number of consultants to kind of imagine what those areas could be in the future. And so to me, I look at them as this amazing opportunity, but we also don't want to lose the character of Frisco.
Right.
And so it's this balancing act. And I think the same goes for our downtown and having these large commercial anchors. And that's really unique in Summit County. We've got Walmart and Whole Foods and a grocery store, but then we've also got this funky Main Street with local businesses and restaurants and more on the way. And so I love just kind of promoting that balance and having, you know, such a strong, vibrant local economy. So I think that'll be a challenge. We also have, we learned about the GAP project moving forward, so that'll be a big one.
Yep.
So I think that those are kind of
Those
what we're up
ones.
against. Yeah, exactly.
You guys have got a lot of work ahead of you. I think it's really exciting, and I think on behalf of the town, we certainly thank you for making the decision to run for town council.
Thank you.
It's really fun to see people putting their hats in and getting it in and taking the reins.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So I look forward to seeing you again. I'm hoping that we can have each of the council members on more often, because then we can talk about, you know, go back to, so this is what we hope to accomplish and this is where we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so anytime you're certainly welcome to come on and
thank
come
you.
and see us. Yes.
I appreciate it.
Melissa Sherburne, thank you so much for coming in to see us.
Thanks.
And feel free, town council meetings are every other Tuesday at 7 o'clock. They're the 2nd and 4th.
That's right. Yep.
2nd and 4th Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. So town hall is right here. You know where to find it. You can come in and listen and get the information. You can also go to friscogov.com to get more information on what the town council and the town is doing, kind of away from the recreation and the marketing side. So, well, Melissa, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. On behalf of the town of Frisco and everybody that worked so hard to put this together, and this beautiful day was brought to us, we want to thank you for tuning in. I'm Shannon Fallon, and I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon.